I hope I am audible. I'm not sure. Again, I'm not sure about it if I'm audible or not. Secondly, like obviously, I don't know why we have this kind of an issue. Whenever we go live, we have to every time change our thumbnail and stuff like that. So, anyways, we will be discussing about AI and the kind of work AI has done in past. I would say, I mean, the recent news if I talk about, and we will be learning how you can actually survive if I talk about. I'm talking to so many companies right now. Obviously, you are aware that I have a recruitment business. So there I'm constantly in touch with people who are constantly recruiting people, and obviously I get to interact with them as I mean on regular basis. So the whole idea here is to actually understand how AI is going to help us, or I would say probably a lot of people are saying AI is going to replace us. But right now we have to understand uh, yeah. So I have just added all the tags which I could, and I hope that the signals are, I mean, the signal is quite good. I just have to confirm if I'm audible or not. So what I'll do, I'll just quickly go to YouTube because right now what I was doing, I was just changing the thumbnail because the issue was I go live from Zoom calls. In case if you want to join this call, you can. Yeah, great. So I'm live. Now there are two ways to join this call if you are right now listening to me. Either you can post your comment if I talk about, or I would say question if you have. You can either put that here, or you can join the Zoom call if I talk about, and we can have a live interaction. I do understand I have given the promise of 1 p.m., but I am right now in the process of actually making it correct. So, like, obviously, I do apologize for that. So, like, forget about it. I'm not trying to say I'm not disciplined. The only thing is I have different responsibilities coming my way. So, like, it's getting a bit difficult for me. Anyways, let's quickly get started. So the question is, will AI replace programming jobs, or can AI replace programmers? So if you are subscribed to our channel, or if you're watching it for the very first time, and if you are doing programming, if you're a beginner, this is a very big question you have for you. If I talk about in terms of front end development, software development, back end development, game development, or Android development, iOS development, all these development, if I talk about, I'll keep it very simple. We are software engineers. Now the question is, can AI replace us? That means maybe I'm going to choose computer science right now, and by year 2026, if I talk about, I'll be replaced. That degree will no longer be valid. Well, obviously, I cannot make a prediction, but here is something which we have to understand. Recently, we made a video on ChatGPT, and I believe you have seen that. In that video, also, I did mention what is going to happen, how the future is going to look like. But before that, let's discuss how AI is working and how it has impacted. So if you're already aware of it or not, again, I'm not sure about it, but yes, if you have seen the video, you must have seen how ChatGPT is impacting a lot of things which are happening. And what I do actually, instead of me discussing, let me actually show you that. So I'll simply come here and I'll join this particular meeting of mine I talk about, and I'll actually share the screen so you'll be able to understand what I'm trying to say. And yeah, that is the Zoom meeting link. And I just have to make sure I'm not audible, otherwise that will be. Okay, I have to sign in. Awesome. But difficult, again, I have made it difficult for myself, not for everyone. Obviously, if you have any questions right now, you can put it. Meanwhile, I'm just getting things done. It's asking me my birth year, which I'll put honestly. And I'm just waiting for it. So like, obviously, if you have a question, you can put it in the section if I talk about. And it is also asking the meeting code, which I have. Okay, great. So I am visible. Yeah. So now what I'll do, I'll share my screen so if you guys, so that you guys can understand what I'm actually talking about. This is a much better setup if I talk about compared to what I had previously. And I will be sharing my screen with you guys in a second because right now it is opening. And I hope I'm properly audible. If someone has a question, please put that in the comment section. And it needs to verify that if I'm a real person or not. And yes. Okay, session has expired. To log in again. So see, basically, guys, what I want to show you here is that how AI is actually impacting a lot of things which is happening. How AI is impacting a lot of things which is happening, and how we as an individual, or I would say we as a programmer, can actually deal with it. And now I'll share my screen. For some reason, I don't know why I was not able to share my screen. Fine, great. I hope that is visible. So what we are going to discuss here is obviously how AI is impacting, how things are happening, and will my job be secure or not? So let's try to understand what it does. So I'll give it a very simple question. Write a hello world program, write a hello world in React.js. Now, what it is going to do, it is going to actually write a hello world for me. It is also using Node.js. I don't know what, okay, fine. So it is using Node.js. I was not expecting that it is that intelligent. So it is showing me the process like npx create react app my app, then cd my app. And this is the code it has given to me. This is the code it has given to me. I hope that is properly visible. Let me actually zoom in a lot. So you can see it has done. So it has created a hello world. Now let me see, add routing to a React project. Create pages, about us, hello world, contact us, and what else we get? Terms and condition. To add routing to React app, you need this particular module, which it is saying. Then in your source.app.js file, import these following dependencies if I talk about. Then wrap the content in the app function. So I'm wrapping the content in the app function. And now you can add routes by using route component, about us page. So like now you can see it is now creating an about us page, which is a bit scary right now, to be very honest. And let me see if it can actually create other pages as well. So it is creating a contact us page. Let me see what other pages I've asked it to create. Not sure. Yeah, I asked to create about us, hello world, contact us, and terms and conditions. So now it is creating terms and condition page. It has already created a component for me. Okay, now I'm actually not going to go there and actually manage this particular application if I talk about, but you can see here what is happening. It is becoming your mentor if I talk about. So you can see if you go to your mentor and you will ask question, it can actually give you this kind of a solution. Like it will say, okay, this is how you're going to do that. Now let me ask one more question. Create one more component to load GitHub profile using Ajax and GitHub API. Now, this is the kind of question you will actually give to a human being, not an artificial intelligence, because that they are not that intelligent. But let's see if it can do. Create one more component to load GitHub project. I would say you will need to make a HTTP request to GitHub API, so you can use fetch function, which is obviously a function which is used for that. So it is using use state function GitHub projects, constant projects, set projects, use state, use effect, and it is fetching the data from now. Your username repos, that is fine. Set project, fetch data, return, and I think, okay, projects.map, it is giving me the projects. I'm just looking into it, what is happening, and I'm just waiting for it to complete the another part of it. To use component in your app, you will need to import it and render it as cloud component. So I'm importing that function app, browser, cloud path. So like obviously we can understand what is going to happen. Now try to understand one thing which is very important here. It is actually doing a work of a front-end developer. It is actually doing a work of a front-end developer. So now the question is, can it replace my job? The question is, can it replace my job? Let me see if I have any questions right now for me. I do not have any questions right now. That is fine. So as we were discussing, can it replace it? You give me an assumption what is happening here. You give me an assumption what is happening here. It has given me almost every single bit of an answer I need. It has given me every single bit of an answer I need. So the big question is how helpful it is. Now let's do the same thing. Let's Google this. Write a hello world in React. Now you can see I'm getting so many options. I'm getting so many options. So obviously, if I'm a new person, I would say if I'm a new generation where we do not Google, where we do not want to research a lot of things, it is better that I'm using this kind of a thing. So obviously you might be confused. Now, if this particular application do so many things, how it can actually impact your life? Well, it can impact your life in so many ways. First of all, it can actually help you increase your productivity. Because like right now, if I want to create a new project with components which are decided by me, I don't have to write a huge code. I can actually ask this particular thing to do that for me. If I have to design a script, let me give you an example. Will AI take jobs of programmers? I can ask a question. It is possible AI and automation could potentially impact some jobs in programming industry as in cases of industry. However, it is important to note, AI and automation can also create new job opportunities, making existing jobs more efficient. Now, I have asked this question. Now, I'll ask it, can you tell this in a storytelling way? Okay, fine. So it is giving me this kind of an answer. So we have to understand one thing, it is actually enhancing me. Like it feels like that someone is actually talking to me and someone is actually helping me, or I would say assist me. So the big question now is, will it replace it? The answer is no, it won't be able to replace it. The reason is the difference between artificial intelligence and the human being is human being can actually think creatively. A human being can think creatively. I'll give you a very simple example. I will say, I want to order a pizza. Fine. So it is giving me an option of ordering a pizza. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of it or not, but here was a story. A 911 call with a fake pizza order helped stop a possible attack, but what if you can speak to 911? So here is what happened. You can see, I would like to order a pizza, she said. You can call 911, you called 911 to order a pizza. Now this is the person who is on the, like, who picked it on behalf of 911. Yeah, apartment number. Now you can see she said, no, I want to actually, in fact, order a pizza. Now, this is a wrong number to call for pizza, which is obviously a human intelligence. But now, no, you are not understanding. I am getting you now. So now the dispatcher, if I talk about, realized that this particular woman was actually facing some sudden harm and she was trying to distract the person. So she thought, like, she used the mechanism of saying, okay, I want to order pizza, but she called 911 compared to uh, calling to the actual pizza place, and actually people came in. I mean, the police came in. So what I wanted to say, that artificial intelligence ultimately is not creative. Now, Vinash, you're trying to say that all the images it is creating, are they not creative? Well, the answer is no. It is not about the creativeness. Something new, if I talk about, has to be built by human beings. Human beings are creative. So if you're not creative in your particular job, obviously artificial intelligence will replace you. I'll give you a very simple example. 2 years, 200 years down the line, we had to actually dig the holes. We used to dig dirt, if I talk about, we used to dig mountains, if I talk about, we used to collect sand and we used to throw it away. Machines came in and they removed that workload of a human being. They removed the workload of a human being. So what artificial intelligence is doing, artificial intelligence is actually helping us remove the manual work which we have to do on day-to-day basis. What is the manual work? The manual work is, I want to create a component that is going to fetch data from GitHub. That is it. Now, what do I want to do with it? I can do that. What do I want to do with it? I can do that. Maybe I want to look for the people who have amazing GitHub profiles. I want to showcase all the people who are doing amazing work with JavaScript. But this is the creative process. But if I talk about in terms of fetching the data, in terms of writing this piece of code, I don't have to type it manually. I can actually ask the AI, or I would say I can ask this particular person to do it for me, and then I can copy and paste it. Now here comes the very good term, copy and pasting. Are we not doing that as a program? Whenever you face a challenge, what do? Use effect is not working. You go to Google and you open this particular website of Stack Overflow. Let's ask the same question. Use effect not being called. Through this particular AI. Let's ask it. And I'm very up. That is giving me the answer, like what could be the possible reason. So this is what we have been doing. Stack Overflow, technically, it's not AI, but yes, it is using human intelligence, where people are actually showcasing their answer and telling you, like, what could be wrong. What could be wrong? So here is what we have to understand as an individual, or I would say as a programmer, that AI will only replace if we are not being creative. AI is going to only replace if we are not going to be creative. If we are creative, AI cannot even touch us. AI cannot even touch us. Thinking about creativity, designing an art using with various, I would say, thought processes we have. It's not an art. The art is thinking creatively, like, okay, how this can be drawn. So this is where AI cannot replace humans, because human beings are actually creative animals. We think creatively. Secondly, AI can only work with the data it has been fed. with the data it has. So I'll give you a very simple example. What kind of information you can give? I'm actually not sure if I have the right question. Yeah, my knowledge is cutoff is September 2021, which means I do not have access to any new information beyond that date. I do not have any information beyond that date. You can see this means I may not have some most up-to-date information on certain topics, especially those that have changed significantly since 2021. However, I can still provide general information and answers to questions with the best of my abilities. I'll give you a very simple example. Obviously, that is kind of a controversial thing, which I don't want to step in right now. So you can see it has a limitation. It has a limitation of a data where it was fed. So like after 2021 or September 2021, it does not know what happens. It does not know what has happened. So you have to understand that this is where AI is lagging. It needs the constant feeding of data. And if we can solve that, obviously it can become more efficient. So to conclude, I would say that yes, AI can actually help us. AI can actually improve our lives. But we have to understand one more thing, that AI cannot replace us for a very simple reason. We are creative beings. It's our responsibility, or I would say it is our role to actually think creatively and do some creative work. So this is where things come in. So I hope this particular live video was sufficient for you guys. If you have any questions, obviously put them in the comment section. And if you have any other questions, obviously put them in the comment section. So we will make sure that all your questions are answered. And obviously, if you have any further questions or maybe topic or maybe suggestion for a topic, please send us over and we will make sure that your questions are answered. So with this, I would say thank you very, very much for coming to our live session, and I will see you in the next one.